Dr. Bode George. The group also dissolved the state executive councils in Bauchi, Oyo, Zamfara, Yobe, Lagos, Edo, and Ekiti states, directing the formation of caretaker committees and fresh congresses.
Very true. The move follows last Saturday's controversial PDP National Convention in Ibadan, which earlier expelled Wike and its loyalists. In a commune read by National Secretary Senator Sam Anyanwu, the faction accused the affected leaders of violating Articles 581 and 591 through anti-party activities and disobedience to court orders. Disciplinary action was also approved against several senior members, while Chief Ali Odefa was ordered to refund salaries and allowances collected after his December 2024 expulsion.
So let's get talking. We have two legal luminaries to discuss on this very important topic today. We have Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid and His Greatness Agadaigo. Thank you so very much, barristers, for being here. We truly do appreciate both of you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
All right, beautiful. Now, I'd love to start with you, Barrister Tunji. You are a stakeholder. We've talked about this countless times. And at the heat of the moment, my biggest question often is, why is it difficult to expel Wike and others out of the party? And you've often said that if they expel Wike, that lots of his cronies will go along with him, and therefore there's no need to expel him. Now, finally, Barrister Tunji, they've expelled Wike, and of course, he's fighting back. But what's your take on what's happening at the National Secretariat in Abuja?
Thank you for having me once again. It's unfortunate that what is happening in PDP now is unfortunate. And it appears the Wike is playing the game more better than the Makinde and co. They are saying so because what was the intention of Wike before now? The intention of Wike is to make PDP a party that will not even have peace or even be able to stand. And they are helping him play that game in that manner. They are playing to his game, and they are playing a game in the local balance, and they are doing what will more help the case of Mr. Wike. You see, you people have been talking about expelling Mr. Wike. Did you see the likely consequence of the expulsion now? The little one, and that is the reason why we are talking about expelling Mr. Wike will not save the matter, will not help the party. It will add more to the crisis of the party. And that is exactly what is happening now. You want to even expel Mr. Wike, who already has a mindset. You do not even follow the process of law, so that you won't have any excuse. You are doing it in a way that has no legal backing. You are doing it in a way where that without following the due process of law, as stated in the Constitution of the party, Section 57 of the Constitution of the PDP, 2017 as amended, stipulates a disciplinary procedure for any member that be alleged of any offense. And what are these procedures? Majorly among them is that person must be notified of the offense committed in writing. And apart from being notified in writing, he must be allowed to come and defend himself before a disciplinary committee that will be set up. So and the question now is, were there any notices issued to all these people said to have been expelled? Were there opportunity for fair hearing for them to come and defend themselves? And Section 57/6 of the party constitution of the Constitution of the PDP, 2017, said that look, anyone that is charged for an offense under the Constitution and is not given the opportunity, is not served with any notice of a hearing, or is not given the opportunity to defend himself, any step taken against him shall be null and void. So what are you doing? What you are doing is that you are giving Mr. Wike, like I said earlier on, more opportunity to achieve his objective. And you see, again, he who come to equity must do equity. So he who wants equity must do equity. He who wants to rely on equity must also be equitable in his dealing. Mr. Bode George moved the motion to expel these people. Mr. Makinde also move a motion for the cancellation. What is it? The solution of certain Congress ESCOs in certain states on the ground of what's it called, anti-party activities. Is Mr. Chief Makinde, the governor for your state, and Mr. Bode George, are they free from these anti-party activities? Mr. Bode George in 2023 openly supported the Labour Party and the gubernatorial election. Mr. Makinde openly aligned and support Mr. Wike in their G5 ambition to work against the party. Mr. Chief Bode George also joined them in working against the party in 2023 on the ground of they are fighting for justice and fair hearing. So people you are talking about now that you say you are suspended to now are also fighting for fair hearing. What was the case that Anyanwu is fighting? Anyanwu is saying that, look, we have 4 states or even more, including his own states, that have not done their congresses. And he's asking that the courts allow them to do their congresses before going to the convention. The Mr. Legal Advisor, Kamadu Dajibade, who is legal advisor of the party, was asked to advise the party as to the legality of going ahead without conducting the congresses. And he told them, look, it will be violation of our constitution for you to do that. And they now say, based on that opinion, they say he's working with them. And therefore, they are all suspended. So what are we talking about? Why is it that Mr. Bode George, who has been immersed in the party activity before now, and Mr. Makinde, why is it that it is now that they now realize they need to fight for party? The fight they are fighting now is not for the party. They are fighting for their personal interest. They are fighting to capture the soul of the party. That is, the way they are going about it is giving Mr. Wike an edge in the sense, look, the ambition of Mr. Wike is for the PDP not to have candidates. And the way they are doing it now, the party has been personalized. It will be very difficult for any serious politician or anybody who wants to contest election to consider fighting for election under the PDP, the way it is now. And that is the ambition of Mr. Wike. And they are playing to his hands. They are allowing him to enjoy himself. He will be laughing where he is now. Say they fall into my trap. And you see, it appears he is planning his game. But those who other side, led by Mr. Makinde and co, are not planning. They are just working based on what's on ground or playing to the gallery. So if you are to expel people, so many people who have to be expelled, including Mr. Makinde and the Chief Bode George and some other members of the camp of Mr. Makinde. They are all involved in anti-party activities. So if you want to resolve the party crisis, go by the advice by the former Senate President, Senator Bukola Saraki, step down the Ibadan Convention. Let's come together. Let's see how we can resolve the matter. If we are able to resolve, we'll move ahead. And then we appoint a caretaker committee. If you are not able to resolve, we appoint caretaker committee and see how we can work around it and resolve the matter. And then move on. But no, they are working from answer to question. So that's why you see them go ahead without the convention. Even with the various court judgments that exist, the Abuja court judgment, 2 court judgments in Abuja, and 1 in Ibadan. The two in Abuja say don't go ahead. The one in Ibadan say go ahead, and they are now being deceived by lawyers and even by themselves to apply the principle, not apply to them, by saying where there are 2 conflicting judgments, the last in time will prevail. In the instance case that we're talking about, that principle does not apply. That principle applies to a situation where there are 2 conflicting decisions of the higher courts. For instance, 2 conflicting decisions of the Court of Appeal. And the lower court, which is the high court here now, is faced with similar situation. Which one will follow? When they say it will now follow the one that came last. That is the principle that is available. Not that when they have a court of coordinate jurisdiction, you now say you will pick one. Are we saying that our court, our system, envisage a situation where you have the right to go and fight similar cases or cases of the same matter, on the same subject matter, in 2 different courts of same jurisdiction? Are we saying that is allowed under our law? Is that an abuse of court process? So if you are saying 2 conflicting judgments from a court jurisdiction, and you are saying the last one will prevail, you are saying the court is saying you are free to go and file 2 cases in different courts on the same matter. That's what we are supporting. And for me, like I said, my own understanding is that position only apply where there are 2 conflicting decisions of the superior court. That is my take.
Okay, to His Greatness, let's look at the national political implications. So could this crisis, right, could it push Nigeria toward a weakened opposition, you know, ahead of the 2027 elections?
First of all, before I will, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Before I will answer whether it can push Nigeria to a weakened opposition parties, I want to respond to what my learned friend have said.
Okay.
Number one, clearly the antics of Mr. Nyesom Wike is to destroy the PDP. Not just, and that's why you remember that immediately Wike succeeded in convincing our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to declare state of emergency in Rivers State and suspending the governor, and the failure of the Supreme Court to intervene immediately. It became clear to governors of opposition party, particularly the PDP, that they were highly endangered species. They were highly endangered species. So that was what necessitated the decamping of many of the PDP governors to APC, beginning with my own home state governor, Delta State, to Akwa Ibom, and all the rest of them. And of course, that really boosted Mr. Wike's confidence in the eyes of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because it was a feat, wonderful feat, master stroke, what they will call political master stroke for the decimation of the PDP. And that is why, in my own humble opinion, I believe that what only these 2 governors, last man standing, Makinde and Bala, did is what, when they were 13 governors, this is what they ought to have done. If you recall, you know, Mr. Wike said that when they supported Fubara, when they had the PDP.
Oh my God! Oh.
Can you still hear me? Hello? Hello?
I can hear you, Barrister.
Hello? Okay. You remember that when they had several PDP governors forum meeting in lieu of National Executive Council meeting, and they supported Fubara of Rivers State. And when they supported Fubara, Mr. Nyesom Wike said that he's going to put fire in the states of the PDP governors for supporting their fellow colleague, who is even the vice chairman of PDP Governors Forum. Governors Forum. He says he's going to put fire on their state. If those 13 governors had the heart of steel that these 2 governors, who I will refer to as last 2 man standing, Makinde and Bala, they ought to have immediately suspended Nyesom Wike, because you cannot compare the hierarchy of a minister to a governor. A governor stands far ahead of a minister, even if it's a senior minister in political authority. A governor is far higher in every respect, I dare to say, than a minister. But because of this feebleness, weakness, and pettiness, and infantile of maybe some of the governors who chickened out, I'm sure some of the governors were resolute to do the needful, to immediately expelled Wike from the party for going to the public to say he would put fire in their states. But some chickened out, and the governors wanted to act in unanimity. That's why they failed to do that 1.5 years ago or thereabout. And in life, whatever issue you sweep under the carpet that you fail to address, it will always come back to haunt you. And that failure, of course, emboldened Nyesom Wike to do more against the party, to keep doing more. At a time, in fact, he called the NWC stupid, he abused them, and kept doing more and more and more. And kept doing more. So it is now that it is clear that the die is cast. Number one, Nyesom Wike did not want that convention to hold, except number one, certain positions are given to him. He wanted certain positions, and he was not happy with the way they allotted the positions to the different zones, because it nullifies his candidates who he wanted to be in the new NWC. He wanted Autumn chairman. By zoning it somewhere else, Autumn is no more qualified, cannot be chairman. He wanted Anyanwu maybe to be something else. So the zoned position of to somewhere else. Anyanwu was like disconnected. So he worked hard immediately. So he did not work against the convention because of any altruistic means, but in his desire to destroy the PDP, if I cannot get what I want, then destroy. But if they allow Wike to have any candidate for any of the office in the new NWC, he will use that position, just like Anyanwu is doing, to undermine the PDP in being able to field a presidential candidate and ensure that that presidential candidate wins. So I support in totality what these two last governors standing have done. They have dared Wike and they have overcome him, because in Rivers State you don't do local government election during state of emergency, but Wike did local government election despite that and challenged any person who is not happy with the result to go to court. So now, if you say there are two court judgments, federal high court said don't hold convention, state high court in Ibadan within jurisdiction say hold convention. So and in that respect, the last order, and he gave that order several times, stands. So that convention is valid. Instead of Wike to go and start fighting in raising Wike's group to go to PDP office and trying to use policemen to install an unknown BOT stroke NWC. In recent times, Wike has been getting favorable court judgment. What stops him from filing a suit that's challenging the legitimacy of the new NWC? That in the eyes of the law, as far as I'm speaking as a lawyer, they have been validly elected. They are for now the status. What is the status of PDP today is that the NWC elected in Ibadan convention are the valid and subsisting NWC in PDP. So what stops his group who have been enjoying favorable court judgments to go to court and challenge their legitimacy and pronounce it? But what I see about the antics of Mr. Wike and his cronies is that they are very impatient. That's their disposition. They don't have time to allow procedural processes to run. Or even the meeting they wanted to hold yesterday, why didn't they even pretend that they want rule of law by submitting their desired meeting to INEC and give INEC 21 days? But they did not want, it's not about rule of law. It's about gra. Now. That's why, of course, they didn't give INEC notice. They didn't give, if you wanted to expel people, the convention held in which he was expelled, they gave INEC over 21 days notice. His own that he wants to do counter suspension, he did not give INEC any notice. No, and 21 mandatory day notice is desired for any change of political office holder, either election or nomination or appointment. He didn't. So it's clear that they just wanted gra, just to scatter everything. And I'm so happy because nobody has the machinery and devices of violence all to himself. Because you can see how Mr. Makinde and Mr. Bala aligned together to infiltrate the support. In the meeting where they were, I don't know why journalists and media stations are still saying that they expelled Makinde. In the meeting where they were holding in PDP headquarters to carry out that act, Makinde and Bala came and chased them away. So the meeting was inchoate.
All right,
journalists
thank you.
will report the right thing.
All
The
right,
meeting was inchoate.
Right.
That meeting was aborted.
All right.
Because they were chased out.
Out, yes. Thank you so very much. Barrister Tunji, you had everything your colleague said, how that the NWC in Oyo is legitimate, and I heard that particular information when the governor of Bauchi State was stating that information was given to INEC, so they are well aware that the new sheriffs in town under them, Makinde and co, are legitimate, has been recognized by INEC. So, but what's your take on everything Barrister His Greatness had talked about?
I don't know whether he's a politician or he has read the PDP constitution regarding the disciplinary procedure. There are processes. That is the, so you see, this is not. You see, I'm not saying Wike is doing well or Wike has done well or I'm saying these people are playing to the hands of Wike. That is exactly where they are now. Is where Wike want them to be. So he's winning as far as I'm concerned. And they are playing to the gallery. You are not getting the point.
But he is. Yes, he is. He is winning, but his win is not recognized by INEC.
Listen, politics is not about playing to the gallery. What does Wike want? He wants unstable PDP. What are they asking now? Unstable PDP. They are playing to that. They want to burn you. You put petrol on your body. You stand behind fire. What are you doing? Are you not helping the person to achieve his objective? The consequence, you see, let me tell you, in a few days or months now, if this crisis persists the way it is now, so many people will leave PDP. No serious politician will contest election under PDP the way it is now. I'm telling you, because he has what happened in Zamfara State is an example. APC won election in Zamfara State. The election was nullified the other time and given to PDP. Why? They said the congresses that was conducted in Zamfara State, there was a court order, and they failed to obey it. Even though they also told me, listen, the same thing happened. The same thing happened in River State. In Plateau State today, except the governor, all the members of the House of Rep and House of Assembly that won election under PDP have been sent out. On what ground? The congresses was not finally done because there was a court order and they failed to abide by it. You see, they can be playing to the gallery. People may be happy. Those who want to see Wike being humiliated. Yes, the Wike is getting his results. It's like a lawyer. I've learned that one. When you are in court, you see lawyer doing as if he's not prepared and doing something wrong. He wants to achieve something before the court. You don't know his objective. Probably he wants an adjournment. He will now behave as if he doesn't even understand what he's doing again, or as if he's not prepared. Other people outside will be looking at him as this man does not even know what he's doing. He's not even a good lawyer. Meanwhile, he has achieved his objective so Wike is achieving the objective of destroying PDP, and they are helping him in that matter. That's the point I'm making. I'm not saying Wike is doing well or he's doing the right thing or what he's doing is right or he's not being challenged. Has given him yes, they've helped him to achieve his objective. The objective is to destroy the party, which I agree. And what they are doing now is destroying the party more. And that's why you see people moving out of the party. I'm telling you, no serious politician who wants to contest the election will be confident to contest under PDP the way it is now. That is the point I'm making. I'm not saying Wike is justified for what he's doing. Or he may not be wrong.
I don't know whether I can come in at this point. Can I come in?
He may be wrong.
Hello?
Yes, please do.
Hello?
Yes, you can.
Hello?
You can.
Please, when Wike called, if you remember Wike's analogy about some of the political parties pre-2023, he said APC is cancer, while PDP has malaria, that he prefers to have malaria than cancer. And to tell the truth, the role Wike and his allies have been playing in PDP is cancerous. So when you are dealing with a cancerous disease, you must be ready to sacrifice some of your body organs so that the patient can survive, including your large intestine or your small intestine. So yes, we can desire this kind of treatment to save the patient, which is PDP. I know that what Makinde and Bala Mohammed have done now, they have, because Wike was a cancer cell in the body of PDP. What Bala Mohammed and Makinde have done, they have removed the cancer cell from PDP, which maybe the large intestine, small intestine, so that the patient, PDP, can survive. Yes, PDP will lose some followers, but I can tell you that since on Saturday, please, now it's my turn, cancel one by one. Since on Saturday, personally, I'm a PDP member as well. The confidence profile of PDP has risen times 200% for the ability of two governors to remove the cancer. When what 13 governors could not do, two governors did. And what they did yesterday, they matched strength for strength and expelled them from the PDP office and installed Turaki. Turaki, since yesterday, despite the Abuja police backup for the Wike camp, Turaki has fully assumed office of the PDP headquarters. And I hope that the meeting scheduled for today will hold as planned. And of course, Wike is not even doing this because it doesn't really have much of the strength. He has the backing of the APC and even the president, because it is in the president's interest to see that there is no viable opposition to his candidacy. So if the truth about it is that the real people, Bala Mohammed and Makinde, fought against yesterday and even for some time, is actually President Tinubu. They are the ones, it's not Wike. Not Wike. As minister, he cannot direct police. Yeah,
please, I would love to ask you both.
And going back, so coming back to what you asked me, that what is the fate of opposition parties? The fate of opposition parties in this Tinubu presidency, who is an acclaimed true Democrat, is very bleak and is likely opposition parties and opposition politics, from what we are seeing, is likely to die. And that's why in my earlier submission, I pleaded with the United States President Donald Trump to come and intervene in Nigeria internal political development.
But it's not their responsibility, Barrister. It's not their responsibility. It's not his responsibility,
but it appears that it is only Donald Trump. When Donald Trump says this, President Tinubu has immediate malaria fever.
Well, I don't think Donald Trump will love to do that.
Please, let me land by this. Okay. All Donald Trump may even need to do is to tweet in his truth social media that the United States of America will not tolerate a one-party state in Nigeria and will not tolerate President Bola Tinubu attempt to decimate opposition parties in Nigeria. That's all. It's sufficient to solve this problem. Just that, he doesn't even need to go on it. Let him just make this simple statement in his truth social. You will see that all these police forces and judicial forces against opposition party or politics, because the intention is that they do not only want a one-party state in Nigeria, they want a one-candidate presidential candidate, one person, one presidential candidate who will be Bola Tinubu for the 2027 election. That is what they want. That is what Wike, Tinubu and co are working towards.
All right, thank you.
I'm calling on the United States President to intervene in this regard.
All right, thank you so very much. Barrister Tunji, I would love you to take over now. What's your take on what His Greatness has talked about. And don't you think the semblance of a one-party state and a one candidate taking everything like we saw in Cameroon, don't you see that happening in Nigeria? And therefore, the Makinde and the Bala Mohammed force is what we truly need if we want, a participatory democracy in Nigeria.
Henry, thank God my colleague has eventually aligned with my position in his conclusion that the party will be weakening more. All the things he said, we are on the same page regarding the attitude and the way and manner weakening and people are working. But what I'm saying is that the way they are being attacked or they are being approached is helping them achieve their objective. That's my point. And the only objective to weaken the party more. And he has agreed that the way it is that the position will be weakened. Is that not the same thing we are saying? I'm not looking at
barrister, the barrister.
I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the consequences of the engagement. Yes. Consequences. What are the consequences? The consequences it will weaken the party more.
Barrister, sorry to interject here, but don't you think that postponing the evil days is even worse? Because if we keep pampering Nyesom Wike, whom we know has no agenda, has no positive agenda for the PDP, don't you think it's even getting worse every day?
When you get my point clearly, if people don't follow point, that's why we're always having issues. I'm not saying it should not be expelled. Yes. There are procedures. Let them follow the procedure so that there won't be excuse. Even if there's excuse, they will be backed by law.
But Nyesom Wike cannot respect it. That's the problem.
So the problem I'm saying is that the way and manner they have been expelled is not in line with Section 57 of the Constitution of PDP. And for you see, when people say, "Why they don't expect this fight?" It is only the word that can start it. Which word we suspend Wike in the states? Which word? They cannot jump it like that. So there are procedures, and even when the word they draw this complaint and taking it find its way up to the top to the up, he must be given opportunity to defend himself. And they said failure to give him notice, failure to give him opportunity to come and defend himself will nullify the whatever state that has been taken. That is the point I'm making. I'm not saying they should not expel him. If they want to expel him, follow the law, follow the due process. That is why we are having problem in the party. Impunity. People doing things the way they like. Going from answer to question. We will not get it right, and it will affect the party more. And that's the point I'm making. I'm not saying it's good to leave him. He has the power. Engaging him. You see, when you engage a madman, what are you also calling yourself? You are also becoming a madman like him. When a madman, when you are in the bathroom, and a madman come and remove your clothes, and you move out of the bathroom, and you start chasing him, what are you also doing? That is the point I'm making. I'm not saying Wike is doing well or what he's doing is right. I'm not saying so. I said his ambition, his objective is to destroy the party. And engaging him in this manner, the way he's being engaged, the way they are doing it for a fight, both parties bringing whatever and starting to say, I have power, you don't have power. It will only destroy the party more. People who are responsible and reasonable will leave the party and go elsewhere. And what I'm trying to fight for, will not be there again.
All right. Thank you so very much. Yes, His Greatness, please, as we wind up for today, I am excited that both of you are lawyers and you understand these things better than us, even the journalists, especially what the law has to say. Barrister Tunji talked about what happened in Zamfara, what happened in Plateau State. How can we prevent that from happening on a national scale, knowing that there are two factions now? I understand that the Makinde faction has said that INEC recognizes them. But how do we avoid a situation like we saw in Plateau, where everyone in the PDP won the election and it was given back to the APC, and Zamfara, opposite of the case? What is the law saying about all of this now?
First of all, let me be very clear about this. If you are in a bedroom, a madman breaks into your bedroom and starts chasing you, you are running in your room, running in your house, and he's trying to chase you out. You have been pushed between the devil and the deep sea. What you should do you should also become mad. You know, we have some degree of madness in us, and start chasing him because he wants to chase you.
In your nakedness, is that?
So you have to not become mad and chase him away and carry cutlass. I tell you, madmen, they have some sense. By the time he sees that you carry cutlass and face him, you will now realize that it's like your madness is higher. You know, mad people, they respect authority. It's higher than he will not beg you. At times he will kneel down and beg you and obey you and leave your house. But if you start playing the victim, and that's why I'm so disappointed at PDP. Many of people left PDP because 13 state governors, one minister chasing you around that he's mad, and you are running all around that because if you try to chase him back, you'll be viewed as a madman. That's what PDP has been doing. And that's why they were victims, and it cost they lost a lot in doing that. But now, two greater mad governors now stood up to him yesterday, and they chased him and his force out of their PDP secretariat and reclaimed their secretariat and their position. So in response to my learned friend, many a times it takes madness to defeat a madman. Not gentleman. You know, we lawyers, we call ourselves gentlemen. But at times, if as a lawyer, you need to be mad if you want to get certain real justice. You need to behave like a madman. That's my response to him. And so, having laid that foundation, in fact, a lot of things going wrong in Nigeria will continue until Nigerians will begin to become mad at their so-called servants who have now become their lord. Until we Nigerians begin to behave mad, our so-called leaders, they will not behave themselves. So that is, from my learned friend's position, that's a prescription to Nigeria in checkmating our over-bloated political leaders. Having said that, what is the way forward for PDP? Number one, that Plateau State judgment was a judgment given in default by the Court of Appeal, because that is, the Supreme Court has said it time and time again, that courts of law do not have jurisdiction to inquire into the affairs of political parties. But what the Court of Appeal did was that since they saw that they were the apex court in that election petition, and it will not go to the Supreme Court, that is why they gave that judgment. Ordinarily, if that judgment had moved further to Supreme Court, that judgment would have been set aside. It would have been set aside. Now, why? Ask yourself, Mr. Wike has been getting favorable judgments in court. If he believes that his expulsion done at the convention is not lawful or procedures were not following, what stops him from approaching his usual lawyer to take it up to court where he has been getting favorable judgments, so that it will be set aside? Both the convention and the resolution expelling him from the party will be set aside. So why is he hesitant to take that step? Maybe, let me pose this likely answer. Maybe because he knows that at the end of the day, the Supreme Court will make a final determination in these matters. And the Supreme Court will likely say that the way and manner a party disciplines its members and organizes its convention is the internal affairs of the political party. And no court of law has jurisdiction to inquire into it. That is the understanding he has, that has made him to take the laws into his hand, to try to go to the PDP headquarters and install people who are unknown to INEC or unknown to PDP members to be leaders of the party. So clearly, the fate of PDP, of what happened in Zamfara to APC, what happened in Rivers State, those cases are completely different. That climate is different from the present PDP convention. And in the eyes of the law, that PDP convention for now is lawful, legal, legitimate, and binding, and it stands until, hopefully, if those matters get to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court determines otherwise, the processes or the expulsion of Wike and his friends, the processes of the enthronement of Turaki and his new executive members are lawful, valid, legal, standing, binding on all authorities in Nigeria, except and until a court of higher authority rules otherwise. So what should PDP do for now? I encourage Turaki to go ahead and begin to rebuild the party from the destruction meted out by Wike and his allies. I expect him to build hope in us, because I'm also a PDP member, by the way. I'm a PDP member. Build hope in us that the party will not tolerate the shenanigans of the past. Go ahead, form alliances with other parties, with ADC, with NNPP. Thank God now that this new ESCO has, the former ESCO said that it's not going to form alliances with other parties. But thank God this new party, being able to read the time, knowing what the time is saying, has promised that PDP will not be an isolationist. It's going to form alliances with ADC and any other like-minded political party.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Build confidence in us, and hopefully by 2027, one way or the other.
All right, thank you so very much. Ambassador Tunji, please, as we conclude, what do you think is the way forward for PDP now? In 60 seconds, please.
Yeah, my own side, you see, I love the optimism of his greatness. It appears, we are different person. I am a realist. I don't deceive myself. I don't play to the gallery. I play based on reality on ground. Than a country where we know that our court don't follow, we can give judgment today and tomorrow another thing will be given. It depends on where they are and who is in power. So is that the system I rely on and say the court will not say so? The court will say we know this law. And then you see we are missing this point of a court cannot interfere in the party affairs. No, it's not general. The court cannot interfere in party affairs that has to do with management and internal and the leadership of the party. But when you are talking about infringement of the provision of the constitution of the party, the court will interpret it and will interfere. What was the like I said, what was the case before the court that Anyanwu took to court? That our party constitution said there must be world congresses, there must be local government congresses, there must be state congresses. We have not done our own. There is violation of this law. Court asked them to do our congresses before proceeding of confession. Is that internal affair? Is that an internal? Even our constitution said there must be fair hearing. Everybody must be carried along. So we are just missing the point and say has no power to interfere in party in internal affairs of the party. It's not all issues that are internal affairs. Issue that has to do with breach of the constitution of the party. Issue that has to do with breach of the constitution of the electoral act. Issue that has to do with the guideline of the electoral act or guideline of the party. Issue that has to do with the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Is not an internal affair of the party. The court can intervene. And that is the point we are talking about here now. Like Lamido now. Lamido is talking about not being allowed to buy form. Whether he came late or did not come late or whatever. The point is that, was it giving opportunity to buy form? If it's not giving opportunity, that is fundamental. That law requires that everybody must be allowed to participate. So you cannot say that's an internal affair. You can't say party has the right to not to sell form to anybody they don't want to sell to. No, that's not an internal affair. That's law. So we need to distinguish between the two. And like I said, I am not. I don't play to gallery. And as a lawyer, when I deal with cases, I don't play to the gallery. I look at the consequences, not that I want to impress people to say I show them. No, I want to look what are the consequences of what will happen thereafter. And I just said it simply that Wike is happy with what is happening now. The Wike, they are not going to court. You know why? They are, to their belief, they are saying there is no expulsion. So you can't challenge what does not exist. That's what they are telling you. And they are operating, even though illegally, they are operating their own side of the party. Even though it may be legal, because there's no way 2 or 3 people can form a party and start appointing BOT, appointing this and that. It's not, but at least they have made the party to become 2. And that's their mind. So for me, the way out is for the party to, for the people in the leadership to share their ego. follow the rule of law, both sides. Wike, I don't want to call about Wike because Wike knows where he's going. He has said it that he's supporting this government. So those who love the party, who want the unity of the party, should come and say and show that, look, law and rule of law and the constitution of the party are being followed whenever they are doing anything to avoid all these crises. And you can see, out of those governors that are left, they did not show leadership. And like his greatness said, they ought to have done this long time ago, jointly. Then what did they do? They left. So for me, it's going to be a difficult situation for PDP to come back. And he has also agreed, indirectly, that they want to merge, or they want to align, or they want. So PDP is almost going into extinction. That's the point I'm making. That the way it's going, PDP will not be alive, and that's my own point.
All right.
So if they want PDP to be alive, they should take their ego. They should take their ego.
Hello.
And they work in the rule of law.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah. We actually don't have time.
I want to humbly disagree with my colleague.
Please, in 30 seconds, if you may. We don't have so much time.
Yes, the issues before the court are clearly internal affairs of political party. These guys, they are clothed. These guys, they are woven with sheep clothing as breach of constitutional provisions of the party. But in reality, especially the case decided by Omotosho J of Federal High Court in Abuja, are issues of political parties. And the 3 states that complained of non-holding of convention, 3 states out of 36 on Abuja, is insignificant for a court to say a convention should not go on. And it is better to have 100 faithful members of a political party than to have 100,000 that 90% of them are betrayers. And that's what the PDP have done. They have been able to expunge elements that are bent on destroying the popular wills and aspirations of the members of PDP from the party. And I say kudos to Governor Makinde, who I've never been a fan of, and kudos to Governor Bala, who have been accusing of being slow and too compromising before now. But yeah, from what happened since on Saturday till yesterday, they have won my deepest respect and regard, and say kudos to them for embarking on the salvation of the People's Democratic Party. And I will, yes. We who are members of, we who are the remnants of PDP, we will support the new leadership to ensure that PDP is not extinguished, but takes its rightful place in the political development of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you so very much, barristers, for being here. We truly do appreciate you both. Of course, when 2 elephants fight, the grass suffers the most. Yeah. What Nigerians want in all of this issue is to be given the opportunity of selecting whom they would vote for. Exactly. A situation where come 2027, we only have President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and others are just mere people that do not matter or do not have the same strength as much as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is not democracy. What Nigerians want, a situation where they can select, they can, of course, cast their votes for the right person that they need in Nigeria. It's often said that PDP is a cat with 9 lives. Sometimes it feels like it wants to die. Before you know it resurrects again. We hope that PDP would resurrect yet again. Thank you so very much, His Greatness Agadaigo, for being here. We truly do appreciate you. Pastor Tunji Abdulhamid, thank you as always.
Always having me. Yes. Thank you for always having me.
Thank you. Show. We appreciate you.
Have a fantastic Wednesday.
Thank you.
Have a fantastic Wednesday.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Pastor Tunji, thank you as always. You've been very awesome. We truly do appreciate you, sir.
Thank you for having me too. I did my colleague. Thank you.
Thank
my
you.
Party member.
Yes, of course. They say the tongue and the feet our very best allies. You know, sometimes they quarrel, but they need each other, and that's what we need in Nigeria.
Don't mix it together.
Yes, of course, definitely. All right, thank you, people. That's just about the time we have. Thank you, Makinde, for being here.
Thank you, Amy.
Truly do appreciate you. All right, we're about to leave. I would love to believe you enjoyed our show just like we did here. Very explosive, and I really loved the conversation. Very insightful. You know, when you have the best minds, you know, speaking about something that they truly care so much about, it's awesome. It's great, and I love to have this sort of conversation over and over and over again. And I would love to, you know, beg my two legal luminaries that I would love to invite both of them yet again for another a great episode on Enterprise Television. Please do well to visit us if you may. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally rewatch this when you visit us at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Wike-backed.
And I am Makinde, Bode George.
Have yourself a splendid day. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. We'll see you at the other side.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.